One of your priorities for this year is making its way through and advancing this week, and that's in the form of Senate Bill 862.
Yes. So my benefits for foster children, and this is again the foster children that have had a parent pass and they receive Social Security benefits. Up until now, the state has been absorbing those benefits instead of setting that money aside for these children once they age out of the foster program to be able to have money for a computer or to maybe pay for that first semester of college or a car to get back and forth to a job. This bill started with that being the main portion of it. That is the bill that I filed, is allowing these children to have their money set aside for them. During the process, and a lot of folks talk about how legislating is a lot like sausage making. You like the end result, but you don't want to watch the process. It was pretty ugly. We had to lay it over a couple of times and work through some amendments that folks were trying to put on, and nothing negative about that. That is the process. However, my underlying point throughout was I don't want anything controversial on this bill. We are so polarized, and a lot of the times the factions within each of the parties. But when it comes to these children, when it comes to a bill like this that everyone agrees with, then let's only add amendments to it that everyone agrees with. Let's not take the chance of killing this really good bill because you want to put your controversial amendment on. It took us a little bit longer to get it out of the Senate, but that was the reason, is I was adamant that we were absolutely not going to let any amendments on that could hurt it throughout the process and keep it from getting to the governor's desk. So excited that that did get out of the Senate this week. We'll see if the House moves it quickly. The House companion bill to it also came out of the House this week. So both are moving very well.
Another one of your bills relates to veterans. I think that's going to be presumably on the floor for debate next week.
It has been put on the calendar, and so we're really hoping to get this on the floor next week. Senators that are in agreement with this, it is overwhelming. Yes, no one really said no, just some said, hey, I need to look at it. And what this bill does is it allows for a clinical study for psilocybin for veterans struggling with PTSD, chronic depression, and substance use disorder. This is something that has been studied in other states. We would like to have a Missouri study. And again, this is not psilocybin where you can go pick it up at the pharmacy. I mean, this is psilocybin used in a clinical setting with a therapist. This is deep work. You have pre meetings, you have the session, you have post meetings as you work through the trauma that you've been through. The outcomes for psilocybin, for depression, for PTSD, and for substance use disorder have been amazing. The testimony in committee was amazing. So we're really hoping that we can get this bill up on the floor in the Senate next week and then get it over to the House. And it would be a trial, a clinical study done within a Missouri medical university.
We've talked about this bill before. Again, you should talk about there's a lot has gone into the research on this, and this is a big deal bill.
It really has, and other states are looking at it as well. Missouri is one of many states that are moving forward with this. They're hopefully moving forward with this natural remedy.
Also next week, again, presumably would be the child marriage bill.
Yes, it has been on the calendar for a few weeks now, and we had to put it on the informal calendar. And I know that that's Greek to anyone who's not working here in the Capitol and dealing with this every day. But what that means is it's one of my priority pieces of legislation, but it came up on the lineup. There were other bills behind it that were timing necessary to go ahead and bring those up. My bill on banning child marriage had to be put to the informal calendar. And so with that, it can be brought up at any time. We do have those time sensitive issues out of the Senate now. And so my hope is that we can bring that up next week. It's really gotten a lot of media attention. We have about a dozen states that have banned child marriage, a handful of others working on it this legislative session. So I'm hopeful that Missouri will be one that gets it done.